In this video, I'm going to compare the Zebra2 Initialize patch to the Sylenth1 Initialize patch. I know a lot of people in the course also have Sylenth1, so I thought this would help clarify any questions that are out there regarding that. So let me go ahead, and I've got Zebra2 up here with the Initialize patch, and I'm just going to move that out of the way for a moment. And I'm going to add Sylenth1 to this project. Alright, so let me get Sylenth1 in view, and I'm going to select the init preset, and this is just a saw wave with a single voice, and retrig is enabled, which means it will restart anytime the note starts. It will always start with the same phase position, which in this case is set to 0. So let's hear how that sounds. Okay, and let's compare that to how the Zebra2 sounds. Okay, now one thing to note is that the tune in global is set to -12, so it's down 1 octave, compared to Sylenth1, which is in octave 0, so it's not being transposed at all, so it's playing at the whatever the MIDI pitch is for the note. So if I bring this up to 0, Zebra2 sounds like this. And let's listen to Sylenth1. So very similar. I think there is a volume level difference. So let me close both of these synths, and I'm going to play both Zebra2 and Sylenth1 at the same time. I'm going to pan Zebra2 all the way to the left and Sylenth1 all the way to the right. So they're pretty close in level, not quite right. It's like 0.3 dB different, but close enough to tell that they do sound very similar to one another. So let's solo one. Well, they're about a dB different, so let's get that level, try to get it closer. Okay, so now they're very close. Now, let's look at them with the signal analyzer and see if there are any differences that we can detect. It looks like, yeah, I've already got an instance of it on here. So let me bring this up. Let me zoom in. Okay, and let me freeze that and I'll point out some things. So one thing we see is that they are different in polarity. We have the one on the left, which I think is the blue line, which would represent Zebra2. Let me just verify that real quick. Yeah. So the blue line represents Zebra2, and we see that it starts with a positive polarity and then goes down to the negative and then repeats its cycle. Whereas the Sylenth1 starts with a negative polarity and then goes up to positive and then repeats its cycle. So they're inverted in polarity from one another. So the other thing that I see is that they might be slightly different in tuning. Not sure which one is exact, but there is a minute difference because we do see some phasing occurring. But it's very, very, very slight, as you can tell by how slowly those lines are drifting apart. And in fact, I think with Zebra2 could enable the restart so that the phase will always start at 0 as well, and see if that makes any difference. Let's try that. Not really. We still see that occurring. And then finally, let's look at inverting the polarity. If we look at Zebra2, we do see that it starts with a positive amplitude and then goes down to negative, which matches exactly what we see in the signal analyzer. If you follow the blue line, it goes up and then down and then back up again. So to invert the polarity of this waveform, what we want to do is basically just grab this node here, drag it down, and then drag this node here and drag it up. And then now we've inverted that waveform. I'm just going to drag this down and let's check it out in the signal analyzer. So yeah, both waveforms now have the same polarity. Okay? And that's really the only difference that we can detect at this point. Now we could switch to the spectrum and see if there are differences in harmonic content. Let's check that. Looks like we have some higher harmonics present in the zebra, which is the blue curve. And we don't see any of that present in Sylenth1. So if I just solo Sylenth1, it has harmonics up to the 16.7 kilohertz frequency. And if I solo Zebra2, it continues to have harmonics present even higher than that. They roll off. So Zebra2's saw may sound slightly brighter, although it's really going to depend on the person hearing it, because those are such high frequencies that, even though we say that humans can hear from 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz, that varies from one individual to the next. So for all intents and purposes, they do seem to be very, very, very close to one another. That's a comparison of the Sylenth1 init preset to the Zebra2 Initialize patch. I'll see you in the next video.